on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Fighting the waters from New York City. It was born here because New York is water more flavor.
It's so New York, it tastes amazing. You're
Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Na 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 na. I've created a monster. Nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I give you. A little bit of me mixed with some hard liquor. The market that'll jump start my heart quicker than a shot like a shot. The hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while it's operating. Hey, you waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back from on the. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problems complicated, so the FCC won't let me be.
Eva Zarte. Hello, how's it going?
But it feels so empty without me. So come on, dip, on your lips, jump back to the hip, and wiggle a bit and get ready. Cause this is about to get heavy. I had to settle on my lawsuit. F you, baby. Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy. Cause it feels so empty without me. This looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy. Cause it feels so
Let's see.
empty without me. A little hellion spirits feeling rebellious, embarrassed that parents still listen to Elvis. They start feeling like prisoners helpless till someone comes along on a mission and yells, bitch. A visionary vision is scary. We start a revolution, pollute in the airwaves, a rebel. So just let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my ass. And it's a disaster, such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my ass. You ask for me, well I'm back. Na 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 na. Fix your bend the tenor, tune it in, and then I'm gonna enter in a bump your nails like a splinter. The center of attention back for the winner. I'm interested in the best thing since wrestling, investing in your kids' ears and nesting, testing. Attention, please feel the tension. Soon as someone mentions me, here's my 10 cents. My 2 cents is free, a nuisance. Who sent you sent for me? Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy. Cause it feels so empty without me. This looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy. Cause it feels so empty without me.
Mr. Mike McMahon, how are you, sir?
26-year-old bald-headed. Me, you don't know me, you're too old, let go.
Wesley, how are you?
Now let's go, just give me the signal. I'll be there with a whole list full of new insults. I've been dope, just thanks for with a pencil. Ever since Prince turned himself into a symbol. But sometimes, man, it just seems everybody only wants to discuss me. So this must mean I'm disgusting, but it's just me, I'm just obscene. Though I'm not the first king of controversy, I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley to do black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. There's a concept that works, 20 million other white rappers emerge, but no matter how many fish in the sea, it'll be so empty without me. Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy.
Heading to bed? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I went to bed early last night myself. But I actually all day I was kind of confused. I kind of had it in my head that today was Wednesday, not Tuesday. So I'm like, I'm going to have my kids. I'm not going to be able to live stream. So I was kind of planning accordingly. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's freaking Tuesday. Oh, I could go live stream. All right. Well, here we are.
Sunday, 1 p.m.
Hold up. Are you still looking different?
Me and you, Mike, me and you both, man. Yeah, Wesley, I thought Skin Breaker visually was fantastic. Even if the story is not super thrilling necessarily at the moment, his like, I'm fine with the story personally, but I know a lot of people's critiques were that the story is kind of bland. But I'm like, that's fine. It when you see an artist like giving everything and it looks that cool, I'm like, love it. Yeah, Mike, I heard that. I know I mentioned that in the video, but my buddy Jason, he picked up that Treasury edition and it was like, they just ruined the colors because the paper stock was so dull. That's what I was told, and I've seen some comparisons, and what a wasted opportunity. Like some of us were saying, like, I really, really hope they do like a black and white version, just straight black and white. I'm gonna call you Wes. There's Mr. Chuck. Yeah, they should have. If they can't get the coloring right on the Treasury edition, at least for God's sakes, give us the beautiful black and white. Like, there's been so many black and white editions of things coming out. Like, I can't imagine they wouldn't make at least some version of it. I mean, I feel like that would just be leaving money on the table if they don't. I bet you Finch would be supportive of the idea. Thank you for stopping in, Canadian Ice Cream Cat. Jason, man. Hello, sir. We were just talking about how bad the Treasury edition of Skin Breaker looked and what a disappointment that was. You have 100 Taiwan dollars? Hell yeah. Yeah, Chuck, that actually sounds like a great idea. Just print on demand. Like, what do you want? You want just a black and white edition? I mean, I'd even be willing for the right project. I would buy a colored version and a black and white edition. Like, I could see myself doing both. For something like that, for like Finch's work at that level, I'd want to see both because I thought the coloring looked really damn good. I want both, and I would probably pay for both. I don't know. With print on demand, the way they can do things now, it's like, why would they not? Yeah, Ginger, I know. I figured the exchange rate was probably pretty rough, but you know what? I'm not one to judge. But yeah, Chuck, that sounds like the way to do it. Yeah, if they were smart, they'd be soliciting for an artist edition on the book at the same time as a trade paperback. Yeah. I would be first in line, and I know a lot of people that would be. I don't know. I don't know the market. I'm just a chucklehead artist over here who wants to see the cool art everywhere. Yeah, right, Chuck? Like, just make it available for what people want. You know, they got to factor in, whatever the cost is. And then there's got to be some kind of, profit margin for them for facilitating it and everything like that. I get it. But I'd be willing to get me what I want. That's the thing. You present me with the opportunity to get what I want, and I'd be willing to pay more than I probably should, but I would pay it.
I can ask. But he's not going to. Only pay?
All comics in black and white, printed at 22 by 34.
And infinitely virtual.
Yeah, a bunch of chucklehead artists you knew got together once and changed comics world forever. It's true. Don't underestimate a determined chucklehead. Oh. The things that chuckleheads could do.
Every time all these lines on my face getting clearer.
The past is gone.
It went by like dust and dawn. Isn't that the way? Everybody got their dues and like to pay. I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes.
How much wood could a wood chucklehead chuck if a wood chucklehead could chucklehead wood? I did make that impromptu Drew Struzan video. I filmed it just before turning on the live stream here, so gonna throw that up tomorrow. Sucks about his passing, but he was old and sick. That sucks though. I don't know. Let's ask Chuck. Since you're the expert on chuckleheads. He had Alzheimer's, and I was looking at Wikipedia, which, you know, I assume it's accurate. His wife was saying that he had reached a point, but she mentioned back in March, according to Wikipedia, that he couldn't draw or sign anything for anybody anymore, and his life was kind of precarious, and so he wasn't long for the world anyway. So yeah, he developed some, you know, Alzheimer's, so neurological stuff, and that just, like, what do you do to even try to avoid that? Like, you can't, right? It's just one of those things where it's like, it just happened. I bet you've heard that a lot, Chuck. You're like, anytime somebody brings it up as a joke to you, you're like, you probably grit your teeth and you're like, I am not going to punch this person in the face. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I want to do it. But I'm not going to. Not today. Maybe next time. Whatever, Charles. Ooh, and fighting words.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices in every aisle. With quality and savings.
Oh my
at
God,
all out,
commercials.
Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's, fresh forever.
Fake laugh and like, yeah, I never heard that one. You really got me there. You're like, I'm gonna write that down and remember it and tell it at the next party I'm at.
In my eyes, in this flow, in the skies, no one knows. As a face like snake, in the sun, in my extreme. Morning heat, summer stain, neath the black, the sky looks gray. Call my name through the cream, and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come? Stuttering, cold and damp, still the warm wind, tired friends. Times are gone for honest men, and sometimes far too long for snakes. In my shoes, I walk and sleep. In my youth, I pray to keep heaven.
cover of Black Hole Sun, but done in like. All right, I have to admit, you guys are probably gonna be disappointed with me. I found like, oh, that looks like an awesome cover, and then I find out that it's all AI generated. But I kind of like the bluesy, smooth vibe that it gives off, and so I'm like, I'm sitting here listening to AI generated music. Isn't that completely hypocritical of me? But I kind of discovered it just yesterday, and I've listened to a couple versions. Like there's an Eminem version of like some of his songs. I'm like, shit, this stuff kind of sounds cool, and I'm really conflicted with my my morals. That's why Chris Cornell self-deleted. Damn. Alright. This one's not a favorite with my Chucks and my Jasons. Mello, what is up?
Because there are tired dogs in your area, there are drivers in your area.
Talk to your healthcare professional about Ozempic, like I did.
Yeah, and see, Ginger, that's where I was struggling myself. I'm sitting here listening to some of this stuff, and I really like the old-timey feel that it gives, but I'm like, but this is AI. This isn't, you know, it's not made by the hand of a human being. Is this what we want the future to be? But then I'm sitting here kind of like, I'm digging it. So I'm like, ugh.
I've created a monster. Nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shade. I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I give you. A little bit of me mixed with some hard liquor. Some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shot at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while it's operating. Hey, you waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back from Mona. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problems complicated, so the FCC won't let me be.
You're dead to me, Rob. That's fair. I wouldn't hold it against anybody. I feel like I should be dead to myself. Just like, oh. Panda. Todd, what's up, guys? Got a lot of the crew in here today.
A visionary vision is scary. We start a revolution, polluting the airwaves of rebel. So just let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my ass. And it's a disaster, such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my ass. You ask for me, well I'm back. No, 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 no. Fix your bend, antenna, tune it in, and then I'm gonna enter in up under your nails like a splinter. The center of attention back for the winner. I'm interested in the best thing since wrestling and festing in your kids' ears. And nesting, testing. Attention, please feel the tension. Soon as someone mentions me, here's my 10 cents. My 2 cents is free, a nuisance. Who sent you sent for me? Now this is like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little
controversy.
Feels so empty without me. This look like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. 'Cause we need a little controversy. 'Cause it feels so empty without me. A tisket, a tasket, I don't tip or tap with anybody who's talking this.
Yeah, Ginger Bear. I thought I saw that you said that you were done with those insane hours that you were having to do. So glad you made it, if that's the case, right? Mello, this is, in theory, if it turns out all right, the back cover to the book. I have basically the front cover done up with the two main characters and then the main female antagonist on the front cover, but then I decided to do a back cover that'll have all the other characters that show up in the book, kind of sort of stealing some Jim Lee compositions here and there. Like, it's not supposed to be a secret, but yeah, this is going to be back cover, unless I ruin it, which is entirely possible. Anybody in the chat, if you haven't followed Mello, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce the AOTRT. Go look at his stuff. Holy crap! Very impressive art. Very inspiring. You know, inspiring in the way that it's like also frustrating to another artist, where you're like, well, shit. Now I gotta step up my game. All you guys. Todd Ferguson in there, Chuck, Jason. Like, I gotta step my game up. I gotta pretend at least a little bit that I can stand in a room with these guys. Needs more Liefeld. On my last issue of my He-Man fan comic, the back cover was all like Liefeld inspired, and I think me and Chuck feel like that one come out pretty dang good, all things considered. I feel like it looks really good. In fact, Chuck almost had me convinced to make it the front cover to the book, but I was so set on the idea that I had for the front cover, I just stuck with it, and it's done. But we got full color back cover on that one. I'm in Utah. That is true. The covers will be color. The printing place that I go through, the covers, from what I've seen, the cost, whether it's black and white or color, is the same. So with these, I pay out of my own pocket to have somebody color them, and then the interiors are black and white. We're kind of drawing it, intending to, you know, the black and white and gray tones and the zipatone type of effects and stuff that Chuck's been putting on the pages. Like, we're designing it to look as good as we could make it, like specifically for black and white. And I think it's gonna surprise people. Yeah. Yeah, Chuck, you're really putting in that that stuff. Putting in the cool techniques. I'm really kind of excited to see what it looks like once it's printed up. You know, we're always excited to, you know, when you get the final product in your hand and can look at it and go, all right, there it is. Art of the Round Table. All right, I like that. Yeah, that I definitely dig.
Now we're gonna go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Even worse, the golf carts.
Yeah, Mellow, like it's all me. It's all my ridiculous idea. I don't know if you've had a chance to kind of catch up on like what the whole concept is based on. It's, I don't know. In a way, I'm kind of embarrassed about the stupidity of what the whole concept is, but I've committed to it. It's all drawn in pencil and mostly inked, so, you know, we're committed. We're seeing it through to the end. But yeah, it's, as far as concept and pencils and story, it's me, and then Mr. Chuck, of course, is doing his awesome inks, which, if y'all aren't following Chuck's Instagram page, he posts in progress stuff and finished stuff, so you can kind of see what it's coming up like. Okay, comics. The first word in the acronym ART is art. This poor little pencil's almost at end of life. I'm gonna squeeze every little bit of lead out of this damn little thing that I can. I can show you what Chuck's Instagram is. I'm just assuming he's still around. He might have ducked out for a minute, but I could show. So yeah, just look up on Instagram, Chuck Gibson 1968. Like, he did the inks on this one for Isaac Bell from Metal Shade. He inked Isaac's, like, was it just a double or is that a triple page, Chuck? I can't remember. Again, Chuck. Yeah, there he is. Was this thing you did for Isaac, is that a triple page? No, it's just a double page, right? I'm just trying to look at it and see the dimensions of it. But, man, you spent a lot of time on that one. That one looks, yeah. And then there's like the most recent one Chuck did. You can see, like, with the gray tones and stuff. It's probably not going to focus on it very well, but yeah. I love it. Yeah, it took you a month to ink those pages. Yeah. There's the last page. The two guys walking off, the dick in a jar, Not exaggerating. Walking through a teleportation portal to get the hell out of there. That's fun. Oh yeah, the inks on the Isaac Bell thing. Like, sorry, it doesn't focus very well, but Isaac is so good. Like, that guy, it's just, anyway. Chuck, you got inking Isaac out of your system. You don't ever need to do that again. You know, I can kind of see that. I know by the time you were done, you were like, holy fucking shit, I have had enough of this. Like, you put everything in there, dude. I don't know. I think you could easily list it as one of the best things you've ever done, if not the best thing. I mean, I don't know. Team Blood Force, what is up, Mitch? Everyone go follow Mitch if you're not. He's got a crowdfunder coming up, I think, the end of this month. And if we don't help him get to reach his goal, I'm shutting my YouTube channel down. It's over. All right, I can't back that up, but I'm going to be really pissed. I'm going to help him. I want to see that thing funded. So everyone follow Team Blood Force. Blood Force Mitch. Hell yeah. Chuck, yeah, if you had to pick a single piece that you had every ounce of everything I could throw at it, it'd be that. Yeah, I believe it, man. I remember when you got done, you were like, okay, time to get back to Rob stuff. And I think you were like, all right, I need a minute. I gotta step away for a second. This one took a lot out of you. But the thing is like, you can walk away, and obviously I think you are, like, you can walk away proud knowing that, like, it's all there on that page, man. It looks really good. They should offer I think you emailed me the high resolution of it, and one of these days when I go back to the print shop, I'm going to print it out, but Isaac should offer like a black and white cover of that one. Yeah. October 30th for Mitch. Excited for that one. This poor pencil lead. I don't know. I'm going to try and put this pencil in my pencil sharpener and see if I can't get one more sharpen out of it. Otherwise, this little guy's probably served his time. Mitch, did you do a guest star on another channel today? Did I see that right? Was that today? You were going to be on another person's channel to hopefully promote your book and, you know, not have the host just talk about everything except the guest star's upcoming project?
Developing with the palette SDK is straightforward and efficient.
Oh my god.
Key features include straightforward.
Peter Palmiotti on his channel. Do I know that name from somewhere? Is that a name that he's done stuff? It sounds familiar, and not just because, like, the only other time or place I've ever heard the name Palmiotti is the inker. But that aside, Is that name? Like, the name feels like I should know it. Oh, so he is Jimmy's brother. Okay, I was like, what's the chance that that same last name in the comics industry? Yeah, I know of Jimmy, but Peter. Okay. I saw Jimmy Palmiotti at the local comic convention here a couple weeks ago. Him and Amanda Connor had a table, so I didn't go up and talk to him. They had kind of a big line around them, and I didn't want to wait. And I kind of didn't have anything to say to them. I went and hit up Kevin McGuire and Dexter Vines. I sat and talked to those guys for a few minutes, but I skipped by Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. If there wasn't a big line there, I probably would have gone up and said something, but I just didn't have the interest to stand in line because I didn't have anything to say to them. I should have said, Jimmy Palmiotti, my dude, when you guys made the Ash comic book, you need to really have made a better logo. That Ash logo sucks. And he'd be like, who the fuck are you, Mr. Nobody? I'm like, I know. I'll show myself out.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra. For current eligible GMC owners get 20% below MSRP on this Sierra 1500 model.
Forget Zoom. Forget online courses.
Addie, hello. Raven, how are you? Big Lord, how are you? Chuck has, and I know, Chuck, I know. You've told me. Addie, you just watched your favorite movie and swooned over the guy. It's funny, I did the same thing earlier. I watched my favorite movie and swooned over the guy too. But I was a little bit more shocked over the fact that I was swooning. I mean, I ain't gay, but when I see Brad Pitt, I'm kind of like, huh, I don't know. I might be for a minute. Yeah, very nice man. A real gentleman. Yeah, oh yeah. For sure. Oh, with the, sorry, I do have a bad angle. I guess I should pay attention. With my little pencil extender thing that I use, coming right at the camera, gonna stab your eyes out. I'm sorry. I'm such a lousy YouTuber, live streamer. Hey, Mitch, what do you pencil with? Do you just use just like a mechanical pencil or a regular number 2 pencil, or what do you use pencils for? Or not what do you use pencils for, but what kind of pencils? I know your penciling in your books is you're relatively rough pencils and then kind of fine the drawing in the inking, right? Thanks for stopping in, Addie. It's good for immersion. You should use a mechanical pencil. All right. Yes, Mitch, thank you. I've got one of those lead holders, and I saw all kinds of artists using it, and I would snap the damn lead off the thing every time. Not every time, but it became such a chore to I'd pencil and then it'd get dull, so I got to grind it and then I'd snap it. Then I got to adjust the lead, put it back in there and grind it, and then I'd snap it. And then I got so sick. I'm like, what? I'm obviously not using this thing right. I must be doing something wrong. So then I just learned to and I don't like mechanical pencils too much, but once I just grabbed a wood pencil and have an electric pencil sharpener sitting right next to me, that kind of became all right, this I can work with, because I could just reach over, sharpen it, and keep moving. Those lead holders, oh my Lord. Relatively rough is a generous way of putting it. Okay, comics roasting him. Oh man, that's awesome.
Subject to credit approval. Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Yeah, I could not figure out those damn lead holders. So I've had it for 20 years, maybe longer, and I still have the majority of the leads in the box case that I bought with it. I'm just I'll just keep it, but I do not do not get it. Like the Pentel that Frank Cho uses. I like watching Frank Cho draw. I look at, he's another one of those guys, when I watch his stuff on his YouTube, it makes me want to draw. I'm like, hey, look at that. I want to draw. I could use a mechanical lead holder like that. I could do that, but ugh, guess not. Frank Cho is another one of those guys where I like to watch their stuff and it gets me inspired to draw, but then I'm like, oh, I can't draw a fraction as good as they can. But the point is not to be them, it's to be me. But yeah, but I want to be as good as them. Okay, comics. Our electric sharpener is too dependent on technology. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard what level of pencil lead hardness I use, but Chuck seems to think I'm insane, and he's right. But these pencils I buy are a 6H. I just have learned somehow to like the harder lead because it doesn't smear, and that's what I hate the most, is having smudging pencil lead all over my pages, and somehow I've gotten used to using a freaking 6H. It's just what I buy, and I don't even notice it anymore. It just works for me, but I know it's a little weird. Mellow, yeah, man. I love your pencil work, man. And then what you do when you turn it into a painting. Mellow, looks so good. Surrounded by a bunch of really good artists tonight.
Sunday, 1 p.m.
Hold up. Are you still booking tea times on golf now without golf pass? The best way to book on golf now is as a golf pass member. Right. Members get credits to spend on golf now tea times at thousands of courses, skip booking fees, and more. Saving hundreds.
You know, Chuck, I don't. Well, I guess I don't think I grind it into and leaving like giant canals that water could flow through. I don't think so, but now that I'm running my hand over it, maybe. You'd be like, you son of a bitch, what the hell are you using these leads for? That's fair. Just pour the ink onto the page and let it run in the indentations. That works. Panda, you like the loose gestures you can get with the softer, bold lead, but I can't ink over it. See, Panda, that's why I use the blue pencil, because it has that soft, flowing, gestural stroke. And I feel like I get kind of exactly what you're talking about with that, but it's not a soft lead. And the blue pencil does smudge somewhat, but to me, it's not nearly as bad as like a regular lead pencil. But that's why then I do the light box of the blue pencils onto a fresh piece of paper. So yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I do not like soft lead pencils, but the blue lead, the blue colored pencil, I'm into. Hey, Chuck, when you inked, you got to ink J. Scott Campbell one time and Jim Lee that one time. I'm pretty sure you answered this. I asked it, and I'm pretty sure you answered it. But you got to ink directly on the actual pencils, right? This wasn't like a blue line printout pencil, anything like that. You were actually inking them over their original penciled work on the original board, right? You did that J. Scott Campbell one that was like the Brady Bunch cover. And then you did a Jim Lee, it was like that Angela card, right? The Spawn Angela character. Todd, tell us more about what you're into, Rob. Yeah, the waxy blue lead. Isn't that non-photo blue thing? I tried the non-photo blue just based on the fact that I heard everyone say you're supposed to use it. And I didn't like it. And then I heard Eric Larson say he didn't like the non-photo blue for exactly that reason, Chuck. So then I'm like, oh, well, I'm done with it then. I still have a box of those non-photo blue pencils. I'm like, well, I just might as well throw those in the garbage. Yeah, nothing. So yeah, so you were doing it on the actual art boards then. An intimidating prospect. No pressure. Yeah, Campbell, Jim Lee, Brett Booth, all those guys on actual boards. You inked over, didn't you ink over Ryan Benjamin as well? You had a lot over Ryan, yeah. You hated inking Jim Lee 3 times? Grifter, Fire from Heaven, Union. I don't know if you've told me, Chuck, what the other 3 Jim Lee ones were. I just remember that, or maybe you did. I'm sorry and I forgot. Sorry, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Chuck. I just find it like immensely entertaining and fascinating to like, here's a guy who's actually touched the original artwork of this guy. Like, who the hell wouldn't want to hear it about it? But yeah, I know you did that Angela card. And Draven, I use a Prismacolor Kohl Erase, colored pencils. Spawn card of Angela, a Wildstorm Studio Jam poster, and something else you think you don't remember stuff from before I fell over dead. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. The Studio Jam poster was a figure of voodoo. That'd be fun, outside of the fact that you just said you hated it. Now I want to look up that Jam poster. That'll be interesting to look at. I wonder if I've seen it before. Little time in a coma will make your memories less linear than you're used to. Yay. Yeah, I bet. Damn ruler. Shit. I'm drawing a character with the bow and arrow. She's actually going to have a string in it. I feel like I'm breaking some unwritten rule. I know, right? How could I draw a bow and arrow weapon and actually put a string on it? And in a Liefeld parody comic. But to be fair, as soon as the main character comes and attacks her, he slices the string on her bow instantly. I have shot a bow and arrow once. It was a long time ago, but I tried to pay attention to sort of how they kind of are supposed to hold it. I remember, as dumb as it sounds, years ago I was watching Survivor, and they had a contest where they had some bow and arrows, and they had to like pull them back, and you know, who could hit the target closest gets a letter from their mom or dad or some shit like that. I remember looking at all these idiots not understanding even the basics of how to hold the bow and get the arrow to sit like on their hand and fire a straight shot. The arrow's like angling off, and they're, you know, I'm like, oh, God damn it. This is the one thing I probably could have done well. Rob would not approve, Rob. NR, ready? What's up? Gayton, what is up? Excuse me. Chuck, I'm getting that letter. I could take out your fucking eye with one of those. Gayton, staying alive? Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. Hope you're doing all right. Star Wars music, is that for the news? What do you mean? Okay, comics, when you were a child, you pulled a bow together with your uncle and the arrow went straight through a tree and embedded itself halfway into the next one. Must have been some impressive torque on that damn thing. Holy shit. See? Yeah, I think you just wrote a superhero origin story. I think Mitch is right. How do you not become a superhero? You're like, I just put an arrow through a tree. I just found my calling. Somebody copyright that and make that story. Or it could be a villain. Either way. I learned I had a profound joy of putting arrows not into people, but through people. I don't feel satisfied unless it actually goes through their body and impales the person behind them. Gaten, you say, rumor has it they're working to pull together a remaster of the original trilogy in their original glory. Man, I would love to see that because I haven't seen the original versions of those. I will not go see anything Star Wars anymore. I am so fucking sick of how they've just butchered that IP. It disgusts me. Like, Star Wars is dead to me, but the original trilogy, absolutely. Like, I want to, remember in Jedi, the original, whatever the hell that singer chick was, the weird alien thing, and that weird ass song she was singing? Man, that thing is so much better than that bullshit, like, remastered one that they did. I would love to see the original effects and everything, like exactly as they were when they were released. I'd force my kids to come see it with me and be like, Dad, what is this crappy old movie you're making us watch? This sucks. And then my kids would go disappearing and I'd never see them again. Todd, why do I do such tight blue line pencil work and then just as equally tight pencils to then just as equally tight inks? Well, I feel like my blue pencils are actually really rough. But I need the freedom to work out all the randomness with that blue pencil. If I'm going to get the best that I can come up with, for me, it's just a technique that I've kind of just recently discovered because I started penciling these things in a specific way to make the cleanest pencils I could do for Chuck. But then I've kind of learned to like the process, actually, in a way I was not expecting. And now I just feel like I'm getting like a clean pencil version that for me is the best version of pencils I can do. And I just feel like I'm getting the best version of myself doing it this way. I used to do rough pencils on the board and then just kind of go straight to inks with some success, I guess. But I don't know. I just kind of like the way that this comes out this way. And I don't feel like it hinders me in terms of speed. I tend to be able to work fast enough-ish. Yeah, Team Bloodforce just chasing that high ever since. Yeah, see, Chuck, they do need to leave it alone, but I would be okay with them releasing the original versions. Like, this is how they were. This is what, like, my mom and dad went and saw in 77. Like, I want to see that again. Dancing anthropomorphic cockroach was always my favorite Star Wars character. I feel like at this late stage in my stupid drawing, I was going to say career, but it's not like it's a career, but I should have refined myself down to a process that I feel like works. And I keep thinking I find a process that works, and then I find something else, and then I'm like, no, this works better. But then it doesn't work better, so I go back to an old thing. But this way that I've been doing it here, I don't know. And I'm doing tight pencils, but I don't consider them like finished pencils. Like, if you see David Finch's finished pencils, like, he puts like line weights into his pencil strokes and everything. Like, everything is there. You could almost just take the pencils and just, put them into Photoshop and darken them up and then just print that. You almost don't need an inker for Finch, although I always prefer an inker. So I leave them loose enough for some fun interpretation, whether it's me or, someone who knows what they're doing. Yeah, art is nothing but a process of experimentation. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you could see, but like, off the shadows off his shoulder here, there's going to be some cross-hatching to kind of feather into it. I'll leave it like that, but that's not like, an inker's not going to trace those little squiggly lines. That's where an inker gets to interpret whether it's me. Like, I'm not going to trace these little triangular shapes. That's just to indicate to me, like, this is a dark shadow, but then there's some small cross-hatching to fold the shadow into the shape. But that's where you can kind of, take the opportunity to do some brush strokes and snaps. And, I like kind of old school image comic 90s West Coast era, whatever the hell you call it, inking with those Scott Williams type, Joseph Weems, sharp inking snap lines, like that stuff. That's what I like. If I could ink like that, I would, but I can't. That's when I like seeing the stuff that Chuck does on my stuff. I'm like, oh, look at those ink lines. That's exactly what I would do if I had any skill. I like inking a lot. I'm just not very good at it, but I still like it, so whatever. You call pencils like that inker proof? Yeah, David Finch's pencil drawings are why people think inkers are tracers. Yeah, Chuck, I imagine as an inker, that makes sense. You hate it when the pencils are so tight that I can't have any interpretation at all. If I'm having to trace every line with the same line quality down to the line quality the penciler does rather than having your own rendering. Rob putting down that rough zigzag. I know what that's supposed to be, but I'm not bound to its particular mark. Yeah, there you go. That's the perfect way to put it. Like, I know what I would do if I was doing it within my limited skill set, but then, like, I know what Chuck, he knows what he's doing, so I'll let him kind of, do his thing to it, and then... Todd, what did Scott Williams do before Jim Lee? I never heard of him until Jim Lee started on X-Men, then all of a sudden this master appears out of nowhere. That's a good question. I don't know. Where did Scott Williams start? It is true. I never kind of hear anybody really talk about Scott Williams was started here and did this or that. It's always like Scott Williams and Jim Lee, they made the art style what it was. It changed comics forever, which they did. I bet you Chuck knows. Yeah, like Travis Charest, it's too perfect. There's no embellishment to be done. Yeah, I wonder what Richard Friend thought of that when he was inking him on Wildcats, because Richard Friend seems to very much speak with great fondness of the time. He said that him and Travis would talk at length how they wanted the finished art to look and, what Travis wanted Richard's inks to look like. A very thin line kind of approach. You think Punisher over Wills was Scott's first regular book, and then he went on to ink Strike Force Morituri over Brent Anderson. I've heard of that Strike Force book. I don't think I've ever seen it. I wonder what it was like when Jim Lee and Scott Williams hooked up. If it was like an instant like synergy of like, oh man, this guy gets me. You complete me.
That was probably one of the best podcasts.
Like it probably has to, considered they're basically one being at this point.
Thanks for coming in today, and I love your haircut. Your dog from Hungary.
I think Richard was Travis's best inker. Yeah, I 100% agree. You know, what was it? Troy Hubbs worked on him on the first kind of run of Wildcats, and I thought it looked good. But yeah, that was it. Was it a second volume of Wildcats where Richard jumped on there with them? Man, I was in love with that book. Like, that art was just like, oh my God, I haven't seen anything this inspiring or exciting in a long time, but I understand that level of detail. Sheree is not fast, so it did not last long. And then suddenly you got someone else, like, I'm trying to remember the name of the artist that would, like, do backup pages in that book, and you're like, oh, I mean, it looks good, but it's not Travis, and boy, is it just a big disappointment. It's got to be rough for an artist to follow someone at that level and try to maintain something that's as visually interesting as the superstar artist is doing, and you just can't. Yeah, and already inkers, I mean, if you kind of know their style, you eventually become able to identify it. Like, I mean, yeah, does the layperson notice just the average guy? But I don't know. But most of us can go like, yeah, that definitely is Klaus Janson, or that is definitely Kevin Nolan. But Kevin Nolan railroads anybody who he inks over and just makes it his art anyway. I feel like I can spot a Joseph Weems relatively often. Chuck says, a good way to see what an inker does is to look at the work of John Byrne. It has a distinctly different look depending on who inks. Avengers with Dan Green look completely different from Fantastic Four with Sinnott. You could spot Scott Williams inks if you were in a coma. You've seen it so much. And John Byrne, I mean, his art on, you know, when he was doing X-Men with who the fuck was it inking him? I can't think. Yeah, you'll mention it. One of you will mention who was inking him on X-Men. Where's that classic, like, beautiful look? But then when you see John Byrne ink himself, it almost becomes like a completely different artist, like, especially when Byrne is inking himself. I cannot think of that name, and it's going to drive me nuts. I know Chuck is going to mention it, and then he's going to disown me for not remembering. Terry Austin, God! Of course, yes. Yeah, Terry Austin over John Byrne versus John Byrne over John Byrne. Like, it almost looks like a completely different guy. Like, I don't know, you know, how many people would look at him and go, yeah, that's still John Byrne. Legendary. I know, right, Chuck? You've spoken to him. You got to talk to him before, right? You said you had some conversations with him. And if I remember correctly, you said he was kind of not a huge fan of his own inks, at least in some places. You said he was a little bit kind of like, my line is such a dead line or something like that. I'm not trying to misquote it, but did I remember that right? You talked to him once and he didn't think that his inking was like particularly very great? Bump, bump, bump. Austin doesn't care for his inking. Yeah, I remember you saying that. And that's crazy, considered it, from what I understand. He's, you know, at least for certain eras of his work, he's revered, right? Oh, this Avengers theme takes me back to when those movies were good. Oops. Yeah, Panda, when a new Marvel movie would come out, when pretty much every one of them was awesome. Even the lesser ones were pretty damn awesome. Yeah.
Forget Zoom, forget online courses, and forget lunch in a school community. Right now, there's a whole
Chuck, you see now why he doesn't really like it? It's so clean that it looks a bit sterile and bloodless. And you know, I get that, Chuck, but there's just a way that the way him and John Byrne kind of meshed that just created this unique thing that just, to my eye, worked just perfect. Like, I couldn't imagine doing like anything that would make it better, but it's just also partially because I'm just so used to it. That's just what it is, and it just works. Like, it's hard to imagine doing something different. But what he was doing at the time, that clean, slick look, I personally think it looks great. But I have seen his ink line on other people's stuff, and I didn't think of it until you mentioned it to me, Chuck. You kind of mentioned that before, and now that when I kind of went looking at it to kind of see if I could see what you were talking about, and I was like, okay, I think I see what I see what he's talking about. I don't know if I would have identified that before, but I do. Chuck, you love that stuff. Austin would disagree with you, but there's never been a better inker than Terry Austin from 79 to about 85. Yeah. Cory Walker's super clean line inks. Well, Cory Walker, I think, inks himself. And that's just kind of his style. It's just a super clean style. And to me, that's what his art is. I don't think anyone else inks him, and so that I think it works just fine. Again, it's his pencils, his inks, his art, top to bottom, and it's just, do you like it or not? I think he's really good. Like those guys that do that super clean kind of open line style, like don't really do shadows and textures. Like that's the thing when you draw with an art style like that, is there's nowhere to hide. If you're not putting heavy shadows and cross hatching and all that bullshit, you can't hide your imperfections really. It's on display for everyone to see, and I respect the hell out of it. I like Cory Walker's stuff. But I think with like anything else, his artwork works great if you've got him on the right book, like the right style. It doesn't necessarily work on everything, but... Oh, Chuck, you never heard of Cory Walker? Yeah, he was the original artist on Invincible. But, you know, and this is not me putting words in anyone's mouth. Robert Kirkman said this. He says that Cory Walker could not keep up with the deadline crunch. So he went searching, and he went online at the forums, and it was either Digital Webbing or Pencil Jack, and he found Ryan Otley and said, hey, I like your style. I need somebody to take over as full-time penciler on Invincible. Are you up for it? And Ryan Otley was like, you bet your fucking ass I am. And he was consistent on that monthly schedule forever. You know, he had some breaks here and there, but Cory Walker, very slick, clean style, but he couldn't make the deadline crunch, but he is co-creator of Invincible. Yeah, Mitch, that's a good point. But I don't know, but maybe a minimalist style, like I was saying, you can't hide behind cross-hatching and shadows and all that kind of bullshit that I know I do. So maybe that's why he's slower with it, is because he has to focus so hard on making it look so correct. Again, just guesswork on my part. Jimmy's brother. You guys are funny. What's that artist? Is it Chris Samney? I understand that guy draws lightning fast. I think Kirkman was saying he did a title with him not too long ago, and was saying that his artist is just so damn fast, just pumps out pages so quick. Samney, yeah. Am I remembering? Am I thinking of the right guy? Like I said, I seem to understand that he draws really quick, and these guys that can draw fast. Oh. How many of your firstborn children did you sell to get that kind of speed and quality? Because I'll sell my firstborn. He's 13, but I could still probably fetch a decent price on the market. Oh shit. Todd. We're on the selling kids portion of tonight's stream, right? Like, what did he say? Is there a market to sell children? Do we need to call CPS? Somebody check on his children. Make sure they're okay. I got a surprise for my kids this weekend. I'm taking them. There's this Titanic exhibit that's coming in town where there's like a pool of water you could put your hand in that's as cold as the water was, and like a ice wall that's kind of supposed to replicate the iceberg, and video clips, and I guess some actual artifacts from the actual fucking ship itself. And my little 10-year-old boy, for some reason, became intensely fascinated with the Titanic itself in the last year. And so I'm not going to tell him that we're going to it. I'm just going to take him and then we'll just go to it. And hopefully he'll just shit himself, not literally, because I will leave him there. But I'm hoping to kind of have a little kind of magical moment, especially with my little 10-year-old. Let him see this Titanic exhibit. I'm doing that this Saturday. Been looking forward to it all month. And already, sometimes a slow penciler puts the inkers and colorists in a shit position, and they have to like rush, and that super sucks.
At Smith's, you never compromise.
I remember hearing not too long ago that Eric Larson had a bit of a
Low prices in
fight with his colorist that he had, because the colorist kept saying that Larson kept like delaying the book from being done until like the last minute, and then the colorist only had like 3 days to color an entire fucking issue, and he was just pissed. He's like, I'm done, I'm out, I cannot work this way. And I was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of sad to hear that Eric Larson, according to the colorist, is being douchebaggy, but if that's actually true. But that's what his colorist was saying, and he bounced. He's like, I ain't coloring for this guy anymore. I cannot keep getting these end of the month panic rush jobs. Todd, thank you. You pay for free stupidity. Well, I'm glad somebody does. Yeah, Chuck, inkers and colorists are always called upon to be the fireman to get the books out. When I was chatting up Cedric, he was telling me about the rush job he had to do on Supreme. Him and Norm Ratman, they were put on you got to put out 2 issues of Supreme a month or you're fired. And so they did. They put in the work, and he's like, and they didn't even really appreciate the fact that we kept the book alive. He sounded pretty damn pissed that him and Ratman put in all that effort to put out the book on a schedule that he says, I don't think they thought that we could do it, but we got Supreme back on schedule. He was kind of frustrated he couldn't do the quality of work that he felt like he wanted to do, because you got to rush that shit out. But I guess you do what you got to do. Yeah, 1 page at a time, like penciler page, off to the inker, next penciler page, like a production line of sorts, right? If everything's going right. Especially if everyone's working in a studio environment, maybe. Yeah, you can't wait for the penciler to complete the whole thing. Yeah, no way. What a pain in the ass that would be. It's production art, right? Get it done, get done fast. We got to sell this product, cheap or not. Getting close to shutting down for the night. I'm going to go for a few more minutes, but I'm not going to try to pencil in that robot back there. Remember that robot, Chuck, that you inked and you said that you kind of liked it, and then, like, we had him get blown up the very next page? Well, he gets to at least appear on the back cover. That makes sense, Chuck. Ideally, the whole creative team should be closely chasing each other. The page that the penciler produces on Monday should be completely done with inking and coloring by Thursday or Friday. And the letter gets a copy of the scanned inks and can be working on it at the same time. When you were at Wildstorm, Chuck, did the lettering get done on the actual artboard itself, or was it done like separately, or was it kind of a combination of different things? Oh, you've only ever inked one job with lettering on the boards.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Call State Farm or Janet Salati for your personal price plan today.
Sunday, 1 p.m.
Hold up. Are you still looking for now without podcast?
You want to say it was a Stormwatch issue? Yeah, I was actually wondering what Panda just asked there. Is it kind of obnoxious to ink with the lettering already done on the board, so you have to ink around it? I mean, I would imagine it would be, but I mean, I don't know. I think it would bug me, but I like original artwork without the lettering on it. But I know there's some purists out there that are all about lettering on the original board. It's the only way. It's the pure way. I'm like, all right, I know, but the artist in me wants to look at the art, not the lettering. And I know the lettering is part of the art. I know. But if I'm looking at a Mark Silvestri original page, I want to see his pencils and inks, not the letterer. Yeah, it's an obstacle. Like, I would think so. Panda, you know the Zorro soundtrack. Absolutely, man. I love it. That movie, it's been one of my favorites for years. It's not my favorite Antonio Banderas movie, but it's up there. Mello, you said you're glad you came in here. Love the work, Rob. The comic book shop talk was awesome. Great meeting you. Well, yeah, if you're taking off, Mello, I'm going to be done here shortly too, but thanks for stopping in, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, some letters that stand out to me that you can enjoy. Like, sure, yeah, I get it. It's just that little part of me that's like, I want to see all these great lines and fades and cross-hatching, and I don't want this girl's hot rack to be covered with a big word balloon. Like, I'm a very simple man. I want simple things. If I'm looking at a drawing of a hot girl, I want to see her sweet ass, not a sound effect saying ba-boom. Is it too much to ask? Apparently. Tom Orzakowski, Eliopoulos, yeah. Yeah, and thanks, Gayton. Yeah, the Discord, for anyone who's not on there that wants to be. Jeez. With mine, life's a dream. We are dreaming. John Workman. Those old Simonson Thor issues with the Workman lettering. I've seen some of that. That big kind of like, is it like big bombastic, like sound effects and things like that? Am I remembering correctly? I haven't read them, but I think I've seen them. I was gonna say, that's where I kind of get a lot of my knowledge of some Kirby art and Simonson art, is the influence that it had on Eric Larson, because I'm intimately familiar with Eric Larson's work, but not so much the other guys. But when I see, like when I go back and look at old Simonson Thor stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I see where Larson's coming from. Like, I totally get it. Oh yeah, I know he stole his gig, and I think he would probably be the first to admit it. I would think. And then it's going to connect to the back cover of this. It's kind of like a bullshit pastiche of Liefeld's X-Force #1, and then some poses of from X-Men #1. I've posted this, or at least I'm pretty sure I did. You like the highlights on the ninja guy? Yeah, Chuck. I haven't like 100% finished it, but I'm always leery to say like this is it because I'm worried that everyone's looking at it and going, dude, this is fucking stupid. That's your cover, okay, jokester. But this is intended to be the cover, and Chuck, I am absolutely cover's yours. I'm not gonna let that one slip again. So that's why I haven't done this. I've had this drawn for like 3 months or something like that. But yeah, I want this one to kind of be the standout with the characters. So we got Commander Max, Dead Eyes, Dollface, Kill Snap, Bo Bitch, Baby Girl, Red Coyote, and then we're going to have Robot. It's just an acronym for something stupid. No, I know, Chuck. I just hadn't, I mean, I did post it, but I didn't scan it or anything like that. But I've left it so we can make it our thing. Obviously, the character is obviously a Cable ripoff. That was the whole point of the guy. And then this guy doing the Shatterstar pose. And then, of course, we'll have it in the background. She's going to be holding the jar with the severed dick in it. But, you know, it won't be like people won't be able to know what it is until they read the book. And then they'll be like, he literally put a cock on the front of the cover. The first letter of robot must stand for robot. I mean, probably. I'm trying to come up with the literally the stupidest thing I could imagine. Because it's supposed to be. And then, yeah, I'll get it colored. I'll hit up that guy that's done the coloring for me before. See if he's still doing work over there in the Philippines. Oh, and then I gotta get somebody who's good at digital. Maybe Chuck, maybe you can help me with this. I need like a digital version of the logo, which is, you've probably seen me talk about. I need a scrap piece of paper, damn it. Like, I keep thinking about, I need to draw this, but I don't think I could draw it and make it as precise as I want it to be. But I think we've gone over it, where the logo is going to be like a 9mm bullet. And make it look like a 9mm bullet. But then there's going to be 2 other 9mm below it. But we're going to see the back ends of them, where the pin strikes to fire it. So it's going to be shiny, and it's going to be just bullets, but it's going to be a symbol. I'm like, if I knew how to draw digitally, I could make it clean and precise. And, you know, I keep thinking, like, I'm going to have to draw a box, and then I'm going to have to divide it up to make sure I find the center of everything, to make sure I keep everything, you know, even and balanced. I'm like, ugh. This is all Mark Domowitz. He put the idea in my head of making the image eye, you know, as a joke version of it. He's like, you can make that eye into a dick. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to. But I want it to be a bullet, and then the bottoms of a bullet. And that's going to be in the top corner. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just a picture of a bullet. I don't know what you're talking about. I might know 1 or 2 guys that might be able to, like, again, I could draw it, but just to get it precise, where like the 2 circles are the exact same size, balanced straight, even, and then centered on top of the upright bullet above it. I mean, it's like technical drawing that I'm not very good at. I could probably figure it out, but like somebody with a digital device could just like click, 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 and probably make it look done instantly. But we got a minute to figure it out. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Todd. Yeah, You know what you're doing. By the way, everyone go follow Ray It's Todd Ferguson. He's the guy who did the Transformer book that I did a video on. Was it yesterday? Or the day before? But yeah, that Transformer book. Yeah, there you 3 days ago, right. I lose track. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm on the wrong app. I'm so stupid. I'm trying to find it so I could show you guys. You guys already follow each other. Yeah. Just his name on there. Not just his name, but like, man. Look at that clean, slick. Yeah, Chuck, you even commented. On point. See? There you go. You even commented on his stuff. Yeah. Oh, God, it's so good. Like, I keep running into all you artists that are just so damn good. I don't know why you interact with me. I am unworthy. Devastator. Daniel Gonzalez, what is up? Are we talking about symmetrical boobies? MEP2234. I mean, you know. Yeah, very subtle work, very natural gestures. Yeah. Yeah, telling me about it. Love the shiny sheen in the girl's hair, the dark hair, and then the folds in the clothes, the natural. You know, Todd's not about the big, ridiculous, over-the-top, superhero, nonsensical bullshit. But when he wants to, he can actually do it pretty dang good. It's our mutual love for ribbing on Liefeld. That's what brings us here. That's fair. Everyone was saying, Rob, you're going to have a heart attack. And I was like, that's how I'd like to die. Have a heart attack live on my channel yelling at Liefeld's art. He died doing what he loved, or at least something similar to that. That one looks great, Todd. The lady in the water. I mean, you put a naked lady in there, I'm always going to be interested, but the scenery, the water, the inks on the water, and then the textures in the skies in the background, like, I would buy shit. And you know what? I'm like, I want to see your artwork. If this is what your artwork looks like all the time, I would buy this in black and white and be completely content. I would not be upset in the slightest. Like, I'm sold. Yeah, anybody, yeah, go follow him. One day Moonlight will get finished. Well, you do amazing work, man, and you've shown up and given me some critiques and some compositional pointers and advice, and I've yet to have you give me some pointers that I don't agree with. So, like I said, I've been very fortunate to run into just a whole slew of artists, like so many of you here. I mean, Daniel Gonzalez, he's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Chuck, who's got to go. I'm gonna be shutting this down too, but Chuck, master inker, Todd Ferguson, Mitch, if you're still in here, you know I'm kind of okay with your book. It's kind of all right. Someone saying you draw fantastic. You've done pinups for my stuff. Yeah, I love all you guys. You guys are inspiring, and it's nice to kind of have a community of artists, and we're all kind of just working towards the same thing and supporting each other and inspiring each other and motivating each other. Yeah, Mitch. Yeah, I know you got to win me over. You're almost there. We'll see. Son of a bitch. You've actually put me on my heels, Mitch. I'm like, I got to step my shit up. I've just read the perfect version of the kind of comic I want to do. Like the 90s stuff with the humor and the awesome art. You just did it. So I'm like, fuck. All right. Well, I guess we'll see what mine looks like. But you know what? I appreciate that. I like it. It pushes us all to do better. So, yeah, I'm going to shut her down. I'm going to be done for the night. Like I said, I got to go get some stuff prepped for lunch tomorrow and put some things away and, you know, tug one out before you go to bed. You know, there's things to do. There's things to do. So, thank you, everybody. Yeah. Oh, Panda. Yep, thank you. But I'll check y'all soon. And Mitch, we'll do a live stream here real soon. Maybe this week if you're free. Someday. We should get one going real soon. All right, guys.